So a little more about me. I'm really pleased, as I mentioned, to serve as NACD's Chief Executive Officer. Also serve as Executive Director for the National Conservation Foundation. I've been with NACD since 2006. I've been in my current role since 2015. A little more about me. I grew up in southwestern Virginia. For those that are familiar with that part of the state, near Bristol and the Tri-Cities. Michael's from the Tri-Cities in Washington State. I'm from the Tri-Cities in Southwest Virginia. Went to college at a small school down there, Emory and Henry College. Went on to Virginia Tech. I'm a product of a land-grant university. Got my master's degree from Virginia Tech. And I've been in the D.C. area for the last almost 20 years. Part of that time working on Capitol Hill, also working for a few other agriculture and conservation organizations, the National Farmers Union, American Farmland Trust, among others. I'm a dad. Got two little girls. They're not so little anymore. For those of you that have met them in the past, I've got a teenager and a preteen on my hands now. So yeah, they're growing up on me. These days, I find myself the two phrases that I'm most often saying to them are, get off your device and get outside, and would you like your door open or closed? They're changing on me. But they're part of why I do what I do every day. Really inspired by the things that they're interested in. It's so great to see them growing up. I'm a divorcing dad, a little change in my personal life since I saw many of you last. But just like our conservation family, we've all got things that we've done in the past. We've always got things in the future that we can improve upon and to be able to deliver for those that are depending on us. Really pleased to be back in New Orleans. We were originally, as Michael Crowder mentioned, we were supposed to be here in 2021, but of course, we all know what happened, and it's great to be back here in Louisiana. We'd really like to echo the thanks and partnership for those that are participating with us, and especially to the Louisiana leaders. Joey Breaux, Theron Phillips with the Louisiana Department of Ag and Forestry, Jason Nolde, NACD board member from Louisiana, Alan Williams, serving on our executive board as South Central representative, all the folks with the Louisiana Association of Conservation Districts, also Ms. Becky Livaday, Blaise Pizzold with the Crescent SWCD. Thank you to each of you for being our local and state partners for making this meeting a success. Let's give them a big round of applause. Also would like to recognize our national staff team. Would all of our staff in the room please stand? Thank you all, and I don't get to say this often enough, but we absolutely could not do the things that we do, the things that you're experiencing here this week, the things that we do throughout the year, could not get those done without our national staff team. Such a wonderful, talented, vibrant, energetic group of professionals, and it's my privilege to be able to work with them day in and day out. So thank you to each of you. I sincerely mean that and appreciate each of you. So I mentioned I serve as Executive Director for the National Conservation Foundation. One of the privileges I had in 2020 was to be able to travel to the great state of Ohio for the NCF International Competition. My phone rang, and it was Jennifer Brooks. She said one of our speakers had to cancel on us. They came down with COVID. Can you make it to Oxford, Ohio, to Miami University and participate with us? We've got a couple things we need you to do. One, we need you to serve as a judge for the final presentations. I said, oh, okay, I can handle that. The other thing, and I didn't realize this till I was there, I was going to be emceeing the banquet. 250 teenagers. Yeah, I can stand in front of you all and talk all day. I was scared in my shoes to stand up in front of 250 teenagers and MC a banquet. And so I was thinking, okay, what do I do here? How can I connect with these kids? Because, you know, they're brutal. And I was thinking about it and went back to just thinking about how could I connect? Well, I'm a dad, right? And who doesn't like a good dad joke? So I got a few dad jokes together, got up on stage, and just like today, I can't pass up an opportunity for a few dad jokes. Do y'all want to hear something? All right, here we go. You've been warned. All right, first one. We're here in Louisiana. How can you tell the difference between an alligator and a crocodile? Anybody? You see one later, and you see one after a while. Yeah, boo, they're bad jokes. I mentioned that I went to graduate school at Virginia Tech. Have to admit, I used to be addicted to the hokey pokey. Fortunately, I turned myself around. Yeah. Did you hear about the restaurant, all this great food that we're having this week in Louisiana? Did you hear about the restaurant that they're going to open on the moon? Yeah. Great food, but absolutely no atmosphere. Have y'all had enough yet? Yeah, the teenagers had to by that point. No, it's an honor to serve and to be able to represent the nation's 3,000 soil and water conservation districts. It was right after our annual meeting in 2015 when we were last here that I got the call from then NACD President Lee McDaniel. Lee's in the room. Lee, it's good to talk with you earlier this morning. Still got that voicemail saved on my phone. It was on a Saturday morning. Jeremy, I need to talk to you. I thought, oh Lord, what did I do in New Orleans that the president is calling me to talk to me about on a Saturday morning? What have I done? But Lee was calling me because he needed me to step up. And Lee, I'll never forget that call. Thank you. The work that we do on a national level truly is a reflection of the work that occurs in each and every conservation district locally. We're a grassroots, volunteer-led organization. 17,000 locally elected and appointed men and women that serve on the local conservation district boards. It's the importance of those grassroots in everything that we do. The local experiences that you have with the communities that you work with, bringing that information forward to the national level through our policy, through our communications, telling the conservation story, telling the experiences that you're having. As a national association, that brings us so much credibility because we know that those experiences are the real challenges, the real struggles, the real opportunities that you're experiencing locally. It's happening in real time, and that means a lot. President Crowder mentioned the legislative fly-in coming up next month. And that is such a powerful opportunity for us as an organization, for you as elected officials to come to Washington, D.C. and talk with the federally elected officials there and talk with them about those experiences. Just such a tremendous opportunity. But we've got to do that throughout the year. We can't just rely upon a couple of days and think that the job is done. We have to continue telling our conservation story. We have to continue talking about our partnership successes and reminding people, educating, making sure that they know about the work that the local conservation district is doing and what it means to the community, what it means for soil health, for clean water, for abundant habitat. We're having our national board meetings throughout this convention, and a lot of good work that the board is doing this week. We're considering the policy resolutions that you're bringing forward from the states and territories. We're looking at a pretty comprehensive set of bylaw amendments and looking at how we're engaging our leadership through our committees, through subcommittees. Again, recognizing the significance of the volunteer time and contributions and the expertise that you're bringing to the table. And we want to make sure that we're harnessing that most effectively, but also respecting the time. I'm truly amazed at the amount of time that you give to this organization at every level, whether that's at the national, the state, the territory, or local level, just the tremendous amount of volunteerism and time that is given for conservation. Give yourselves a big round of applause. We're also thinking about strategic planning for the future, and we're thinking about ways in which we can continue to evolve and grow and do new things, reach new people, try different approaches to conservation delivery. You're doing such great work all across the United States, and my hat is off to you. It reminds me of one of my favorite quotes from Hugh Hammond Bennett, the father of conservation, who offered this guidance to early leaders in the conservation movement. If we're bold in our thinking, courageous in accepting new ideas, and willing to work with instead of against our land, we shall find in conservation farming an avenue to the greatest food production the world has ever known. We have so many opportunities today in conservation. As NACD North Central Executive Board member Steve Stirwalt from Illinois likes to say, it is a great time to be in conservation. That is so true, Steve. That rings in my ear just about daily when I think about all the opportunities that we have ahead of us. Truly, this represents a once-in-a-generation time when we're seeing such an influx of funding into conservation programs, and we know it is critically important for the local capacity and implementation. I mentioned my two kids. They're both in gymnastics right now, and they go every Friday evening to practice. They learn new things. They come home. They practice those things they've got a little trampoline out in the backyard, and they're always so proud of themselves when they turn a flip or a cartwheel or an aerial. All these things that make my hair a little bit gray. And they're always proud when they stick the landing. They say, "Daddy, did you see that? We stuck the landing." We've got to stick the landing with these opportunities that we have before us. The margin for error is so small, but I know we're up to it. We're up to it, right? Yeah, good. NACD has been advocating for increased funding on this scale for several years now. So it's a real testament to our government affairs work. It's a testament to you and the work that you've done for local capacity and implementation. A question I often get is, are the conservation districts ready? And I answer that question with a resounding yes. We all know that there are some areas that will need time to prepare. But just like Hugh Hammond Bennett and the early conservation leaders that founded the conservation district movement, we have to step into this opportunity and be bold in our thinking and show what local leadership can do to address some of the greatest natural resource challenges of our time. Climate change is our generation's dust bowl, and I know our conservation partnership is up to that challenge. I say all this to convey one message, and that is that we as a conservation district movement have more opportunity today than I have seen in my 15 years with NACD and in Washington, D.C. And our work is being noticed. And more people are seeing the value of locally led conservation. But with that success, we also cannot be complacent. We have to continue rolling up our sleeves, getting to work, establishing new partnerships, reaching new landowners, new partners, new cooperators, and being courageous and accepting new ideas. And we also have to continue advancing conservation through our grassroots advocacy, seeking opportunities to educate lawmakers on the important work that we do. Much of that work is resulting in direct program opportunities to deliver programs in partnership with our members. Programs like our technical assistance grants, our urban agriculture conservation grants, and most recently, the Partnership for Climate Smart Commodities. And just cannot express my gratitude and thanks enough to our partners at the USDA for having faith in NACD and the conservation districts for getting the job done. Thank you. The Partnership for Climate Smart Commodities, a lot more information to come on that program. We're fully expecting to be able to have final documents signed within the next month or so and get to work. A lot of that is going to look very similar to our technical assistance program in terms of the way that we're going to structure it and the way that we're going to partner with our states and territories to deliver the program. But a lot of different things with that as well. Much higher expectations, greater requirements for reporting and outcomes, reaching new audiences, underserved producers, those that have maybe never come through their local conservation district doors before. So be ready. We're going to be coming to you with those opportunities. And there are many other organizations participating in this space that are also going to be looking to districts. So be ready. If you're not already, have conversations at your state and territory level. Talk to your leadership. Talk to your partnerships. Make sure that you understand what's going on. Communicate. So vitally important. We are a grassroots, volunteer-led organization, and we absolutely could not do this work or offer these services back to our members and communities without your participation and support. That support is so appreciated by our national leaders and board, and with it, we are able to be even more effective in representing you at the national level and cultivating these opportunities to bring even more resources back to the local level. So again, thank you. As I close, I want to offer another quote that I often see in front of one of the row houses near NACD's headquarters office in DC. And that quote is from Margaret Mead, and it reads, "Never doubt that a group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has." Thank you again for being in New Orleans this week. Be sure and go home changed. And thank you for all that you do in your states and territories for conservation, for local resiliency, and for our national community. Thank you.